All right, 5:08 p.m. on the dot, and as I start recording, the demons that are monitoring my genitalia, that is my nude body, that is my private activity in the bathroom, are stalking with amplified noise. It includes the sex offender who you will see in images here. This is documentation of bathroom monitoring, which is the documentation of federal group stalking and monitoring. They were doing it in the bathroom right now, which is what they're doing on an ongoing basis, while the elderly geezers at Woodside, who are violent sex offenders, also gang stalking with this baby daddy, while engaging what is gang stalking with his son, is in position. He's in perfect alignment with where I'm positioned in the bathroom, panties down, in the toilet, which he knows all about, where engineer light is covering the interior. The fake sun is what is to the side of the same apartment, where it's on the same apartment on merely the east side at 9 o'clock in the morning, where a sex offender is monitoring a woman in a bathroom. That's what he's doing while amplified noise sounds in the bathroom, where the gang stalking geezers, such as the ones that are remaining inside of these apartments, are gang stalking, while the fake son remains over all of them who are stalking me inside of this apartment at Woodside Senior Apartments. This is called relevant positioning, light activity, and audible activity, where the engineered light has nothing to do with actually that video evidence of what is a fake sun, and the engineer light where you can see literally the shadow of the metal rack on the opposite side of the same porch that is covered. Also, it is the evidence of what is engineer light. The tall metal rack is at a midget size as the shadow of it appears on the opposite side, and the entity that's engineer light, where you are seen and shown and proven to be stalking in the path, while you know exactly what's going on inside of a private space where amplified noise is occurring, while the gang stalking demons surround with the elements of monitoring, while they know that your genitalia is exposed, they know that your legs are spread open, they know that you're in the bathroom, and they know that you are documenting them as well. They also know that based on this evidence that you're going to use against them, the specific environment. That's how you also know what they know. They're engaging in that pattern of conduct in a bathroom, which is an exceedingly violent sex offense amongst what is the engineered light that's inside of the apartment, having nothing to do with the fake sun that's still outside of the same apartment at this hour in the day, where a bunch of gang stalkers are focused on me inside of the bathroom. I want to be clear, this sex offender is going to be relieved of custody of the children with whom he is a sexually violent threat to. He is still obsessively stalking me and monitoring me in the bathroom, and I have never given him any images, never had a conversation, never invited him into the bathroom with me, where he is obsessed with what is between my legs. That is the conduct of a sex offender who represents the police department, who are engaging in surveillance in the bathroom, where relevant positioning, audible activity, light activity, and private activity under the fake sun at a facilitated venue, which is an apartment complex, where surveillance is happening in the bathroom. Okay, so this is where the entity is indeed gang stalking, and I started this video at 5:08 p.m. just to give you further confirmation regarding the sex offense that the entity is indeed engaged in, while you are mindful of the specific environment that is captured. And so the specific environment includes not only are you aware of the entity that is gang stalking, you're aware of the entity that is gang stalking in a readily identifiable environment that includes what is the specific environment. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, this sex offender is in position at the staircase under what is a fake sun, and engineer light is covering everything, and he is obsessively stalking and monitoring the genitalia of another woman while he's in custody of children, and he's doing so with the sex offenders and the gang stalking geezers who are filling the apartment building, where they are all going to prison and mental asylums in units 48 through 64, and the unit that he's in, 41, going to prison and mental asylums with all the rest of them in 33 through 48. And this is where the fake sun is at the same apartment, the same sidewalk at 9 o'clock in the morning. As you'll recall,
presence at an apartment complex where gang stalking is underway is by the very residents themselves and the employees.
And that's exactly what's on. I just want to show you sitting in engineer light that's present at 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun hasn't gone anywhere. Engineer light fills the apartment now just like it did at 9 o'clock in a scientifically impossible manner. These are demons who are violent sex offenders under what is an idle fake sun, which is on the east side of the same apartment building.
Sun that is still here, as you saw in video, reflecting off of these vehicles.
And this is the same location where the fake sun, this is captured yesterday morning at 9:08 a.m. This is the same circumstance where sex offenders are monitoring you in the bathroom, which is what the mental health patient at unit number 41 is engaging in, while monitoring with a child sitting in engineer light, stalking in the path. This is obsession. This person is obsessed with my genitalia. This person is obsessed with me. This person is consumed with me and is stalking me. This is gang stalking by the state, where the fake son is at the same address, the same apartment. You can see the state stalking in the background. The state is also obsessed. The state is also a sex offender, engaging in gang stalking and criminally contributing to the violent sex offense of monitoring surveillance in a bathroom. Where you're looking at this at 5:01 p.m. Where demons, just like you see here, this sex offender is also going to a mental ward. Her license plate is 5WUB715. I am not only not interested in women, I don't invite women into the bathroom with me. I don't engage in sexual activity with them. I don't place myself on the internet in order for them to look at my genitalia and masturbate and have sex while they fantasize me and about my genitalia. This sex offender with license 5WUB715 is gang stalking with the demons that fill the entire property, where the fake sun rises and sets on the same along the same sidewalk. Like you see yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning, this is where the fake sun is. Where you see it at 5:08 p.m., this is where the fake sun is, and this is where demons, like in unit 55 above me and unit 41 across from me, are engaging what is surrounding, while they know that is what I'm doing inside of the apartment, and you know what they know about what I'm doing inside of the apartment while the specific environment is here. Amplified noise sounds inside of the bathroom, where I am surrounded by amplified noise amongst what is engineered light that's not only inside of the apartment, not the product of sunlight, it is also outside of the apartment, where demons are obsessively consumed with what you're doing in that specific environment that defies nature as well. This is where the entity is monitoring evidence. These are sex offenders that are so obsessed they are still gang stalking, even though they are witnessing their exposure in real time. This is what's happening at the same time where the entity is keeping the fake sun. This is P.O.C. stalking in the path while the ongoing amplified noise of the demon in unit 55, and this demon is listening to every word and then pacing inside of the apartment while monitoring a woman's genitalia in a bathroom and gang stalking with children. It's currently 5:15 p.m. These are sex offenders who are indeed going to prison and mental asylums, where the fake sun is rising at 9 a.m. This is where the fake sun is still present. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 hours later. You need to understand the significance of being right here in relevant position. It is being in perfect alignment with me in the bathroom, where amplified noise sounds inside of that bathroom, where engineered light is covering outside. None of this is sunlight, nor is this the sun 8 hours later. This is not just sexual violence by the demons who are going to prison in these two buildings that are not covered in sunlight. This is all engineered light, and this is the evidence of state surveillance that is stalking in planes and helicopters. They're doing so while the fake sun is also remaining over me at the same exact time in Los Angeles on this day, but the entity is doing so while the government itself, who you see stalking in planes and helicopters. And remember, at 3 o'clock yesterday, the Ontario police is flying right over in helicopter while the same population is obsessively stalking and doing so in bathrooms as well. They're doing so in what is engineered light. None of this is sunlight. The fake sun is again rising here and setting here, where you're stalking in the path inside of the apartment buildings, violent sexual violence, okay, while they're doing so as a community. And this is where the entity is again doing so on behalf of the gang stalking police who are obsessed with my genitalia. That's why they're being disbanded, and they incentivize sexual violence while the population engages and shares in that with them. This has nothing to do with the engineered light that's on the inside of the apartment, and this is coexisting with what is amplified noise, which criminally interferes with quiet enjoyment, and this is coexisting with what is stalking in the path by those that are inside of the buildings and stalking with amplified noise while they know that your panties are down. These are the same demons you see pacing at 8 o'clock in the morning, look to the left or right like they're unbothered, like they're ignorant about you. The fake sun and the engineer light proves directly the opposite, and it also is the material to diagnose mental illness and also sexually perverted gang stalkers. All right, they're the same ones you see them pacing at 8:56 in the morning. You see them pacing at 10 o'clock in the morning, where this fake sun is reflecting off of the vehicles in the same parking lot, where they're also at the same time where bathroom monitoring is underway by the population, because that's what this is. And the sex offenders in Unit 41, they're pacing in and out, focused on me, and these demons are hostile because they know that their sexual violence is yet again being documented in that specific environment where they're focused on a woman's genitalia. And this is sexual violence that the incestuous predator Tracy Banks is engaging in and facilitates and enables, okay, against her own daughter. Again, a demon-possessed person who's sexually obsessed with me based on her mental illness. This is demon possession, as the criminal conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring is underway in bathrooms in that specific environment, which defies nature. While you're looking at the fake sun that's remaining over the same sidewalk, this is where the entity on this same day has the fake sun over me in Los Angeles, where, by the way, it remained for the duration of the day. Let me remind you about that, because I captured evidence of what is the fake sun for the entirety of the day in Los Angeles, which is what is captured April 9th, 2000. 2024. Not only did I capture the sunrise in alignment to me in my bedroom, my living room window at 1806 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, California, a 23-minute video. 23 minutes. The fake sun remains over me as I then walk downstairs outside of my office at 8:45 a.m. I'm capturing video of the fake sun as I'm at work, and the entity is keeping the fake sun. The LAPD is gang stalking by helicopter. It's the same P.O.C. and the entity is maintaining the specific environment where I'm capturing LAPD gang stalking in helicopter. I'm capturing video of it. This is what you see at 2:35 p.m. where the entity is in Ontario, California, gang stalking me in the bathroom, obsessed with my genitalia, stalking, which is evident in the environment that defies nature, and the entity kept that fake sun in this environment where the demons are obsessively consumed with what is between my legs, which is the conduct of sex offenders. Gang stalking, as it's going to be prosecuted for what exactly it is exceedingly violent and sexually motivated and perverted predatory conduct, where surveillance is also underway by police departments, by the government, by the mayor, who maintains intelligence about the times when I'm in the bathroom. That's what the city of Ontario is consumed with, while the entity is gang stalking in the sky space under the fake sun that's over the same sidewalk, where a bunch of predators are gang stalking in units 1 through 144, who are all going to be prosecuted for gang stalking with this sex offender, unit number 41. Okay, this is somebody that is obsessively stalking, being in the path while my panties are down, genitalia is exposed, and where amplified noise is centered on what I'm doing in the bathroom, where a bunch of sex offenders are centering their surveillance efforts for no legitimate reason. This is gang stalking by the state. And this is where the fake sun is remaining present, as you see it in alignment where a bunch of demons in Unit 41 are pacing in and out of their front door with children, those same children that they're gang stalking with and engaging in what is monitoring in a bathroom with. You're in the same way you don't go to orgies with your kids. You don't create child porn and put it on the internet. You don't create child porn for your own enjoyment. You don't engage in what is going to rape someone and bring your kids along to participate in that. You don't gang stalk with children. You don't gang stalk and monitor somebody's genitalia in the bathroom with children. That's what's going to be respected when the entity is prosecuted. This is all state action, by the way. And this is what the entity is doing while the...
Okay, so I just took some close-up images of what is...
Let me be clear. This is what it looks like when all of the neighborhood is stalking you. When all of the neighborhood is obsessed with you. When all of the neighborhood is sexually obsessed with you. Gang stalking.
Group stalking. If you can see the green gate, you saw a third party. She's opening that gate. That's a means of light activity, first of all. Second of all, this...
Everything that you're hearing me stating is proven by the specific environment. How is that? You're looking right at it. If this is the sun that's at Woodside Senior Apartments, as I am on the first floor, I'm bending down, so that means the sun is at a very low elevation. This is all common sense. I have to articulate this for you in order to help you connect that with regard to what you're looking at. It's at such a low elevation under this covered patio at this hour in the day. We're at the same apartment. I'm capturing the sunrise, 7:34 a.m. I've documented that. Yesterday, which was April 8th, 2025, 9 o'clock in the morning, I documented that. You have what is the entity that has the sun at the same exact location, and where the sun is, you have in Los Angeles, along the hillside, where I documented the sunrise this morning in 2024 at 7 in the morning. This is not sunlight that's covering the hillside, nor is this sunlight, nor is this the sun, where it's idle and engineered light coats everything, where demons are very noisy when they know your panties are down in the bathroom because they're monitoring. Monitoring is not only psychological torture, it's where you are being stalked. You're being stalked by a population of demons. It's called gang stalking. It's government action as well. It's the prosecution of AVANATH Capital Management, a company that's going to be prosecuted for keeping my genitalia under surveillance, in concert with its employees, in concert with the population, in concert with the government itself, who's maintaining surveillance on its property where AVANATH is profiting, and in concert with the demon-possessed residents, the very occupants, who are engaging in this iteration of documented sexual violence where monitoring is underway in a bathroom, in ways in which Tracy Banks is going to be prosecuted for. A gang-stalking predator who exposes her daughter. Nonetheless, I'm over the age of majority, but she's been engaging in this with the government since I was a child, and this is the prosecution for it.
The sexual van violence that you see, the gray van, and you see it, an over white, looks like a Caucasian female with a blue teal shirt on. She's walking with her back toward the camera. While I'm walking out of my office, you're looking at engineered light. That's literally, it's impossible that it's down here. This is below elevation, the same elevation. This is covered. The building is high.
And not only that, the sun is remaining over me in Ontario, California at the same time for the duration of the day. Not only before 5:08 p.m., but after 5:08 p.m. and it is mutually exclusive. So not only is the mask removed regarding the significance of the environment, which is demonic, the demons themselves and their appetite for sexual perversion. While they look like stalkers and they look like demons, they look like psychopaths. Chilling in relevant position, gang stalking with children, gang stalking while they know that they're being documented. Again, 9 Charlie Z Charlie 059. Let me get you this demon's license plate. Let me confirm that for you. This person is going to a mental asylum indeed. This person is heavily documented gang stalking with minor children. This person is gang stalking with the police. This person is threatening my life and safety and sexually violating me as I'm documenting. Again, license 9 Charlie Zebra Charlie 059. This is government action while the baby mama and the baby daddy, the granddad, the cousin, the uncle, the brother, and the whole family of demons are gang stalking with children. They're doing so while I'm showing you the significance of the environment where the sun is documented on this day at 5:08 p.m. That sun is remaining in alignment to me because there is only one sun. This is requiring that there be more than one while I'm capturing this environment that defies nature. Same time of year, same time of day, literally at the same time. Okay, not only that, for the duration of the day. There is no making sense, no reconciling what is the unmistakable pattern of conduct, what is prosecution for the exceedingly violent sex offense of gang stalking. You're not only going to be prosecuted for terrorism, it's a sexual offense of a federal nature. And this is government action. The government, the police departments, every gang stalking cop, which is an oxymoron, they're going to prison for a sex offense. You're not only done with law enforcement because you're a terrorist, you're done with law enforcement because no sex offender will ever be a part of law enforcement. Ever. The entity is engaging in this pattern of conduct with regard to the specific environment, which is what I documented. The entity is maintaining this specific environment, and what you see in the images is what I'll show you here in the video in real time.
The directed light is dragging all around.
They're pacing all around on the hillside on the street while they know I'm standing outside. I am standing outside while I'm documenting and narrating. This video is 11 minutes long on this day at 5:08 p.m. The entity is maintaining the light activity while they're pacing at the hillside. They are driving all around on the hillside, and UPS is crossing back path, driving down on the hillside, and engineer lights moving all across the properties, all across the gates, which you can see when you examine this video on your own time with regard to prosecuting the state. These demons are pacing, and it's a supernatural occurrence. This is the fake sun that has nothing to do with engineer light. The same pattern of conduct, which is, it's supernatural when it happens one time. I've documented a population of demons over a duration of years engaging in what is supernatural once. It is an unmistakable pattern of conduct that you can never manufacture. It is the P.O.C. and they are gang stalking in bathrooms.
Okay? And this one right here at 1820.
This is the
9 units are living. I've just documented them right now. I'm going to publish that address is what I'm going to do specifically. It is currently 5:16 p.m. This is POC. I want you to see the light source again.
Where the fake sun is present at 8 o'clock in the morning.
What they just engaged in, remember, they're acting on behalf of an entity under a light source that's rising right here at this hillside, and here it is still right here.
All right, and this is where the demon in unit number 55 is stalking with amplified noise, criminally interfering with quiet enjoyment, while her gang stalking conduct that's also happening in a private space, sexually violating, sexually traumatizing, and invading the privacy as an entity is continuously underway with impunity while they are monitoring the evidence against the government itself, doing so also exhibiting severe mental illness. This is why this particular demon in unit 55, who was living at the apartment complex where the fake sun is still revealing presence in alignment to me, which is a scientific phenomenon. We're at the same property where the same demon is at the same apartment at 9 o'clock in the morning. Also, when you're juxtaposing it to the crime scene in Los Angeles, this is not the natural environment where you are engaging in what is audible activity creation. That's the significance while you're being documented in real time. Not only is that pattern of conduct speaking to mental illness by the gang stalker, the impunity where you are subject to a prosecution and you're still engaging in that pattern of conduct, that's also demonstrative of mental illness. Under all facets, the entity is subject to what is an inevitable demise, and they are obsessed with my genitalia in the bathroom. What I do is public information. That's also why they're being diagnosed for mental illness. Paul Leon has no legitimate interest in what's between my legs. I have not solicited this man, this fake pastor, this gang stalking mayor with regard to looking at me, keeping me under surveillance in the bathroom in Ontario. But that's exactly what he is doing with the Ontario Police Department, who are gang stalking with the demons at Woodside Senior Apartments. Let me remind you about what they're doing over the top of my head in the middle of the afternoon where this fake sun is still present.
Gang stalking with the demons in unit number 55, who is stomping extraordinarily loud as I take pictures of the engineered light, the evidence of the Ontario PD engaging in surveillance inside of the apartment, which is a facilitated venue, not a private residence. This is, again, Paul Leon, Mike Lorenz, Michael Gherkin's a part of the same criminal pattern of conduct, and this is the entity that is stalking under the fake sun that's right here at 9 o'clock in the morning, where San Bernardino County Sheriff is gang stalking. This is Paulson Path.
This is the same fake sun over the same sidewalk. 2 hours later at 5 p.m., this is where you're looking at it. When I go inside of the apartment, it has not gone anywhere, and that's not the natural environment. In the specific environment is where the demon-possessed are obsessively consumed with the genitalia, with the nudity, all right, with the private activity of that target individual. They are consumed and obsessed. That's why they're stalking. But you also need to understand it's sexually perverted. It's predatory in nature. And they are also hostile psychopaths when you expose the fact that they're 1, demons, 2, stalkers, and 3, sex offenders. Okay? The entity's mental illness is inherent to the pattern of conduct and prosecuting for that pattern of conduct, which is state action. It is simultaneously exposing what are mentally ill psychopaths who are part of the legal profession, law enforcement, the medical field, and the population itself, who are gang stalking and obsessed with my genitalia while they are monitoring in a bathroom and engaging in what is the pattern of conduct with impunity. This is somebody that knows that they're being documented. And this is somebody that should not know that they're a demon. That's how they know that. Because I'm not beating on the window. I'm not screaming, hey, 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 let me get your ugly face on camera. I'm not doing any of that. This demon knows, and the specific environment is proof of it. He is also moving his face in another direction because he knows he's being captured in images. And this is the direct evidence speaking to what is criminal knowledge that he maintains, which is a sexually violent pattern of conduct, violating the privacy as an entity, not an individual. Tracy Banks is gang stalking with him. Mike Lorenz is gang stalking with him. Paul Leon is gang stalking with him. Michael Gherkin is gang stalking with him. Shanita Ramaya McLean is gang stalking with him. Eric Corey Spencer is gang stalking with him. Jason Isaac Fields is gang stalking with him. Anthony Jawan Kennedy is gang stalking with him. Glenn Anthony Williams is gang. I can go on and on and on. This is an entity who I've identified by name and who you do not have to know personally. Their knowledge, which is serving to keep you under surveillance, gang stalking you, monitoring your evidence, while you need to know demons know what you're doing on your devices as well. This is a demon and this is a sex offender, as you're going to prosecute the actus reus, what they are doing. Also the mens reus, the sexually perverted appetite to keep someone under surveillance in a bathroom. And that knowledge is proven beyond a reasonable doubt, by the way, because you are tying together the environment with regard to a pattern that the LAPD and the Ontario PD engage in, which is a reference to the government. Gang stalking and reliance on the population at Alvarado Gardens and at Woodside Senior Apartments, where the sun is not beside building 1808 at 5:08 p.m. and beside building, it's so close and so low in elevation as well, while I am inside of unit number 51 in Ontario in San Bernardino County, facing what is the direction west at the same time. Okay, that's not the sun. This is evidence of non-movement of the sun, as is in Los Angeles evidence of non-movement of the sun. And let's go even farther than that, because the entity is engaged in not only gang stalking, but this is the last one I'm going to show. Where you see the fake sun right here, this is where I'm at 8 in the morning when you're looking at the fake sun. This is the evidence when you're getting past the illusion. At 8:45, I'm standing at the same exact location. Outside of my leasing office, in between buildings 1808 North Alvarado Street and 1810 North Alvarado Street. This is where I'm at, where I am walking toward my office, and I'm capturing it on video at 8:45 in the morning, where a bunch of sex offenders in Woodside Senior Apartments are psychopaths, hostile, stalking with amplified noise, because the sex offenders are hostile to being known as sex offenders, while they're obsessed with my genitalia, and they are going, excuse me, the devil is a lie, they are going to get help for that. Somebody doesn't want me to speak, and I'm going to continue to speak like I have been for years. The psychopaths who are going to be diagnosed, they're the ones who are delusional, gang stalking someone whose assignment it has been from the beginning not to be overwhelmed by it, not to be criminally defamed by it, but to prosecute it so that everybody sees the sex offender that you are, the terrorist that you are, the psychopath that you are. All right, this is where the fake sun is at the same exact time at 8 in the morning.
Your son has autism? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, same to you.
That's P.O.C. That's Lisa Chu, monitoring with LAPD, who's sounding helicopter activity. That's a threat to my life in the specific environment.
Sorry.
Here's a light source right here. It is currently 8:45 a.m. All right, and the entity is in the specific environment, group stalking with the people who live at Alvarado Gardens, her and her son that she claims has autism, which is legally irrelevant, engaging in the behavioral pattern.
This is the same exact location. It's on the opposite side of my person, so I'm facing the hillside. The fake sun is there, and in the evening after 5 p.m., I am standing at the same location, and the fake sun is merely on the opposite side of the same building. Okay, it's the same location. I'm in between building 1810 and 1808, where my leasing office is right there in the center. And at what is 8:45 in the morning, I'm standing at the same exact location. That's the hillside where the fake sun is over the hillside. So when I'm walking toward my apartment, again, building 1806, at the same address, the same apartment complex where the fake sun is there, let's count the hours, with regard to the pattern of conduct that is clearly shown under a fake sun that doesn't go anywhere, which is defiance of nature. And so is the behavior of those demons who are gang stalking, in fact. Okay, that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's over 8 hours later. The same exact location while it's merely on the opposite side of my person. Well, that's what we have going on here at 9 o'clock in the morning. That would be same time of day, by the way. 15 minutes, that's a negligible difference. That's the same time. And the sun is not over the hillside in Los Angeles while I'm facing the hillside, and also on the east side of apartment number 51 in Ontario. Same time of year, same time of day analysis applies. You have the pattern of conduct, though, while you're looking at what is hours later. As you are analyzing the environment, the natural environment, you have a pattern of what is the fake sun remaining at the end of the day, merely on the opposite side of the same apartment. That's what's going on in Los Angeles. That's what's going on at Woodside, where the demons are gang stalking as a whole apartment complex. I want to be clear, the entity is indeed going to federal prison. All right? There is no negotiation. There's no backhanded negotiation on my behalf by any gang stalker. Nobody is able to and in any position to represent me, as I have been prosecuting by myself, publishing evidence that has been suppressed by that entity that's still gang stalking me. No one is in any position that is legally relevant. The entity esteems itself as a legitimate police department. The entity esteems itself as a legitimate courthouse. The entity esteems itself as a real mother or a real friend. They're all demons, and they're gang stalking. It's public corruption. And no part of that renders anyone in any position, also outside of the knowledge and consent and participation and involvement by the targeted individual, who single-handedly exposed in order to prosecute that state, is negotiating anything on that person's behalf at all. Okay, the entity is gang stalking while the fake sun remains over me at one apartment complex. It's on this side of the hillside at 8:45 in the morning. And when I'm walking in between the same location, it's merely on this side where I'm at the same exact position over 8 hours later. That's the pattern of conduct when you're looking at it in what is Ontario, California at Woodside Senior Apartments. This is the exact same POC from the east side of the apartment building to the west side of the apartment building, where demons are stalking inside of these two buildings, where everybody in these two buildings, 33 through 64, prison and mental asylums, where they are obsessively consumed, which is speaking to severe mental illness that AVANATH is going to be prosecuted for, while they are gang stalking and doing so, keeping me under surveillance in the bathroom, where sex offenders are interested in that. And those sex offenders are in positions of government, public officials, manpower, government resources, with regard to surveillance in a bathroom of an innocent person. I'm not cutting up cocaine in the bathroom. I'm not trafficking children in the bathroom. I'm not conspiring and hiding bombs, planning to blow up any sort of buildings in anywhere in California in the bathroom. They're just consumed with what I'm doing in the bathroom while they're gang stalking me. You need to understand that gang stalking is the outward demonstration of demon possession. The demon possessed are obsessed with the one who they are in fact stalking. Your ability to identify that they're stalking is in the environment, which is demonic, where you have what is an idol sun, a supernatural occurrence, a phenomenon, a scientific impossibility. Nonetheless, you document because Satan is a liar. In order to prove Satan to be operating through the government and through the people who surround you, you prosecute Satan with hard evidence. That is fully admissible in a court, where there will be no negotiation on behalf of the target individual who has not consented to any said negotiations. While, by the way, I'm still being gang stalked. It is currently 5:37 p.m. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm going to publish on the internet, because it's what they're still doing. Let me show you right now what I'm going to publish on the internet while the entity is gang stalking, because this is exactly what goes online when the entity is engaged in the P.O.C. These are the sex offenders who are indeed gang stalking in concert with Paul Leon. That's why you see the planes in the sky space where the fake sun is over me, as you've seen at all hours of the day. Paul Leon is an unapologetic sex offender, okay? This is why you see the City of Ontario gang stalking with all manner of the City of Ontario. And everybody sitting on this City of Ontario Council, Daisy Macias is a recent replacement. I've documented the sex offender that was on city council before her replacement. She was replacing another Latino male in December of 2024. She's a recent replacement, and that's why I haven't updated the names. You are keeping tabs. Daisy Macias is nothing other than a gang stalker sitting on the Ontario City Council. A bunch of demons, a bunch of sex offenders sitting on the corrupt city council. That's going to be removed. All the gang stalkers profiting with AVANATH Capital Management, while the entity is gang stalking with those who are still psychologically engaged in warfare, spiritually attacking, while gang stalking with his wife, Tracy Banks, gang stalking with the people of the state, Jason Isaac Fields, who I don't need to see in order to prosecute. This is the city of Ontario, gang stalking while the fake sun's over the top of my head in the afternoon, in the morning time. This is the sex offender that's stalking with amplified noise inside of the apartment building. A psychopath, you can see it on her face, by the way. This is somebody that's mentally ill, somebody that is distraught while she's being documented, and that mental state of being distraught is also amplified audible noise, which is going toward her mental illness when she is diagnosed for her pacing conduct that's designed to monitor somebody. This is the sex offender unit 43, gang stalking, license 7YEH777, gang stalking. This one, the impunity with which I'm documenting him gang stalking with the Ontario Police Department. The sex offenders that like to engage in what are futile and feckless acts of retaliation when you're documenting gang stalking with the Ontario Police on one day and then you do it again on the next day, as I'm documenting on April 8, 2025 and April 7, 2025, this sex offender that's gang stalking under the fake sun, license F50FIVE, is also a sex offender obsessed with my genitalia. Okay, a hollowed out zombie pacing around on the property where the fake sun remains all day long. This demon-possessed gang stalker is stalking in the path while I'm in use of my camera. Again, looking at me when I'm not banging on the window. I'm not causing any attention. She's stalking in the path while I'm in the on this day capturing what is relevant positioning while the entity is gang stalking outside. I walk inside and she is stalking at unit number 41. And just coincidentally, as I walk outside, she begins walking away, which is crossing a path activity creation. She's walking in an engineered light. It's just a gray color. She's doing so in concert with unit number 41, the sex offenders that are obsessively consumed with my genitalia. The gang stalking granddaddy who works for AVANATH. They're all going to mental asylums. Linda Reyes' sexual appetite for monitoring my genitalia in the bathroom is being documented. She is a state actor. Okay? Gang stalking me in the bathroom is an exceedingly violent sex offense, and they're all under the fake sun, as I documented the gang stalking geezers who are violent sex offenders. This is exactly what goes on the internet while the Woodside Senior Apartments complex lives under a fake sun. All 144 units are engaged in stalking in violation of the Violence Against Women Act when they're gang stalking with the city of Ontario, and they do so with impunity, while on yet another day, April 9, 2025, the fake sun is present, the engineered light is present, the amplified noise criminally interfering with my quiet enjoyment because the sex offenders themselves are hostile to being exposed for being sex offenders. That is the psychopathic disorder in the mind of one who is in the wrong in the first place. Okay? The entity is engaging in sexually violent conduct, and it's all state action. The government's going to be prosecuted for what is referred to as the perpetual sex offense. It is currently 5:41 p.m. The entity is indeed maintaining the specific environment inside of the apartment of Woodside Senior Apartments where surveillance of a sexual nature. You need to understand that gang stalking is occurring in private spaces where the government has no legitimate interest, where the government is engaging in things such as stalking you and monitoring you in the bathroom with sex offenders who would engage in that at any level. Okay, and it is accomplished by virtue of the malicious act of residing at a specific environment where, by the way, the fake sun rises and sets. This is P.O.C.